You're watching Inside Automotive with Jim Fitzpatrick.
Good morning, everyone. Jim Fitzpatrick with CBT News. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. The most highly anticipated event of Northwood University's calendar for the year is right around the corner, and I'm talking about the 61st International Auto Show. It's taking place October 4th through the 6th. Here now is the Student and Public Relations Chair for Northwood University International Auto Show, Mr. Colin Kubik, as well as the Student and General Chair for Northwood University International Auto Show, Mr. Alex Mazon. So thank you, gentlemen, for joining me in the studio.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having us.
Thanks for making the trip down from school, and it's a little bit of a break for you. But
yeah, it's a fun little trip we got to do, but it's an honor for you guys to have us down here.
Yeah, well, it's an honor for you to be here, so we really appreciate it. Lots to unpack here, lots to talk about. I know that you guys are coming up, as I said, on the 61st Annual Auto Show, which everybody wants to hear about. And for those of you that haven't made your plans yet, make them right now. This is an event you're not going to want to miss for sure. The job that these students do and the school is just phenomenal. So get your bags packed, and it's right around the corner. So let's talk about this a little bit before we get into the show. I'd love to know your background. I know that our viewers would love to know that as well. So let me start with you.
Sure.
Talk to me. What's the driving force behind you wanting to get into the auto industry and learn more about it?
Sure. It starts with I would say my grandfather. Ever since I was a little boy running around the house. My grandfather would come home, and sometimes even from work, because he was one of those type of people who just never stopped working.
Yeah.
He always had it in him, and he worked for General Motors forever. And I remember he'd bring home some of the coolest cars and whatnot, and I'd be at the table, and I'd be like, "Grandpa, let's go outside. Let's see what this is," and we'd play around with the buttons. But as I grew older, he sort of instilled the hard work and sort of his story to me, and I took inspiration in that. And since I was this tall, I knew that I wanted to be in the automotive industry, and that I've been blessed because the main question is, when you're growing up, is what do you want to do?
Yeah, of course.
And I always knew the answer to that question.
Wow.
I always wanted to be in automotive, and that's thanks to my grandfather.
Yeah.
And then another story, just based off of Northwood, really, is how I got there. Is a family friend of ours, Gary Stanford of LaStanford Chevy and Cadillac. Brought me in his office one day, and this is way before the college days.
Yeah.
And he slides me his business card, and he writes northwood.edu on the back of it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why would I be thinking about college right now? He's like, trust me, look it up. They have amazing auto show. We're going to do this. I was like, okay, great.
Yeah.
So neither here or there, we go visit, and I think it was 10th grade, I went to visit during Ali Nazaraz's show.
Okay.
And me and LG Bright, who's our department head.
Of course.
We're
LG's
walking
a legend
the show.
in the business.
He's a legend.
Yeah.
We were walking the show, and I sort of looked to him, and I'm like, LG, one day I'm going to be general chair of this show. And
You're in 10th
here we
grade.
are now,
That's
10th
right.
grade. And here we are now, 5, 6, 7, 8 years later.
Yeah, that's great.
And now I'm in grad school, and I'm the general chair. So it's
That is
been very
fantastic.
fulfilling. And like to say I make my grandfather proud.
There you go. You probably do. I'm sure you do. What about you, Colin? Talk to us about your venture into automotive.
Absolutely. I have an unorthodox welcome into the industry. I started off here at Northwood 4 years ago, and I had no inclination towards the auto industry. I'm a business guy at heart.
Okay.
And in this past year, I had my first little taste of the show. I represented Team Ferrari. Okay. And I was able to really dig into what the auto show gave a student, in a career sense, but also an experience sense. Yeah. And everybody was impressed with my work at that stand, and I was invited actually to apply and interview for the position of public relations chair and a couple other seats. And I ended up winning this awesome position. And then next thing I know, I'm at an ADA 24 out in Las Vegas. So
very cool.
Yeah, I definitely jumped and moved around pretty fast.
Yeah. So now that you're in it, are you plan to make your career in automotive?
I would love to see what opportunities lie for me in the auto industry.
Yeah.
I've said for a long time, I almost didn't go into the business world. I love journalism. I love speaking. Okay. And I love to say that I want to take my mind and my heart and use it with my voice to get a message across from, a business to a consumer, whatever it may be.
Sure.
But to see that there's so many opportunities in the telecommunications industry with automotive. It's there. The possibilities are endless.
That's
so
right.
I'm really
we might have a
excited to see
seat
what's
for
out
you
there.
right here at the news desk at CBT News, right?
Shoot.
You could be communicating and talking about the car business, right?
That would be incredible. Yeah.
That's great. That's great.
Thank you.
All right, so let's dive a little bit into, or I should say a lot, into the auto show. If we can start with you, Alex. Tell us a little bit about the auto show. What can we expect this year?
Sure. So the auto shows, this will be our 61st year.
Okay.
We're very proud of it. Last year was our big 60th.
Yeah.
And we sort of rolled out a few new additions. And one of those additions for this year, and we'll get into this a little later, I believe, is our new CAMS initiative.
Yeah.
So that's our
got
center.
that right on
Yep.
here. Yep.
Center for Automotive and Mobility Studies.
Okay.
And so that's sort of our launch. This is our launch pad for that program this year. So that's going to be one of our exciting new additions.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So talk to me. What who comes to these events typically?
So our target demographic, mainly for general admission into the show, is the local community in Midland, Michigan.
Okay.
That is our main basis, considering that the school is based there.
Yeah.
And then we reach out into the Tri-City areas and try to grasp as many people as we can to this, free admission experience.
Sure.
On top of that, we do invite many industry leaders, and we have an incredible amount of people that are interested in the auto industry from all across the state, and then even quite a few places throughout the country that come to visit just this one key event. It's very, very exciting time to come out and visit Michigan, and especially the university with what we have going on out there.
It's a great time of year too.
To touch on that a little more, is our main focus is our Midland community.
Okay.
That's where we really started, is to give back to the community.
Okay.
And a lot of shows, you go to Detroit, LA, New York, whatever it is, it's $40 to get in.
Yeah.
We like to give it out for free, and we like
great.
to show what our students could do to our local community, and then also everybody else.
Sure.
Yeah.
And you've got so many different nameplates that are represented in the show, right? Talk to us about that.
So we have basically all your OEMs and manufacturers represented. Here or there, there'll be a few missing just because those are times nowadays. So it's sort of sad that sometimes auto shows are in declines, but ours is only growing. So
yeah, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. And I would imagine that the OEMs want to participate.
Yeah.
They're probably also interested in the students and hoping to get maybe recruiting some of you guys right into their employment, right?
Yeah, so that's another key point is just in recent years we've sort of tried to grow the relationships with the OEMs and the manufacturers. A lot of times it's been local dealers, and we want to keep it that way. We love our local dealers. We like our relationships. But it's really good to know that these major corporations are now taking us seriously and us back into consideration to help us out.
Yeah, of course. And there's no selling at the show, right?
No.
I mean, these people can't, if the visitors come in, they're not going to be, people are not going to try to sell them a vehicle per se.
It's
at their leisure, they can look at these cars, sit in them.
Exactly. And we have about, actually our student involvement is so good that all majors over campus, so finance, sports management, hospitality, they actually take 2 to 3 weeks to study and learn these vehicles. So they have product knowledge, and they are sort of like little salesmen, but we're not selling anything. You come, you ask a question, we'll have an answer. We'll have an answer for you, but there's no selling, there's no pushing you into a vehicle or something like that. It's just for you to enjoy, for us to enjoy, and
very cool.
It's really a great learning experience for all of our students.
Yeah, for sure. Colin, how long does it take to put a show like this on?
We start as soon as the last show ends.
Really?
Yep. We get it rolling as soon as it ends. We do our interviews for our executive board.
Yeah.
And then we pass down information and keep the momentum rolling year after year.
Sure.
So that we can go in and make a better show the year after.
I bet.
It is pretty exciting to see what we accomplish throughout the summer.
Yeah.
So we'll lead in throughout the end of the school year, and then everybody kind of splits up and does, internships and whatnot as you do in school. And then we all come back together and see all the little efforts that we've kind of interwoven in between all the different teams that we have in our organization.
That's great. Alex, talk to me about the impact that this has on students.
Sure. I mean, there's an enormous impact, whether it's career or at school. Through our auto show, something that we always have to remind ourselves is that every team is different every single year.
Yeah.
And that comes from our executive board down to our team captains, down to our team members. So not only does that make our show different every year, but it makes our tent displays different every year. And what's unique about that is that every single tent, every single booth is unique to itself. It's up to the student, up to their creativity, up to their creative minds, what they want to do. And it's actually led to multiple career opportunities for these students. For example, some of our dealers will come in, or the manufacturer will come in, and they'll see, oh my God, this is amazing. Yeah. Let's see what you could do for us. So, I mean, all over the board, from career to personal. Yeah, it's really great.
I bet that with the companies that come out, the OEMs, automobile dealer groups, and what have you, I'm sure there's probably a few alum that are walking around that are dealers today that are also talking to you all about future careers with their companies, right? Yeah, so it all of a sudden turns into a career day, you know, as well. Right?
That's a good point, like a little career fair. But,
That's right. That's right.
It's an amazing opportunity.
Yeah. So talk to me about this full tank auto camp. Sure. What is that?
So our full tank auto camp is funny. I actually worked on it last year. I was a little last minute addition. I didn't know if I was going to be a town or not. Regardless, it's a 1 week residential auto camp for basically anyone. I believe it's 8th grade to senior year. Okay. So our really initiative with that is to sort of have them experience what life at Northwood is like in a week. Oh, okay. So we do multiple field trips. We went down to the M1 concourse in Michigan. Okay. We got a really great grant by General Motors to put this camp on. Nice. And this provides scholarships for students, or we call them students at the camp, but our campers to come and experience Northwood. So you stay the week, and we do several field trips. Okay. And you also sort of get to know some incoming students as well. Okay. So for example, there's a student we had who was a senior coming into Northwood. Okay. So this gave him a little 1 week snapshot of what his freshman year is going to look like in the automotive program. There's several automotive professionals from all over the globe come out and help our camp.
Okay. Yeah. You guys have got a few initiatives going on. Colin, can you talk to us about the Center for Automotive Mobility Studies?
The Center for Automotive and Mobility Studies is a single umbrella that our automotive retail, automotive aftermarket, motorsports, all of our programs can kind of fit under. Okay. And it's an exciting new development for us because we are going to be able to have a single standalone institution that's able to take students and give them applied knowledge, give them research from professionals, and allow them to utilize and leverage their own knowledge in real world situations. It's an extremely interesting development that we have going on. There will be, certain degree pathways that come out of this as well that will be introduced to the university. It's an exciting development for us. That's fantastic.
Sure. Yeah. You guys have so much going on at the school.
I mean, it's incredible the growth that's happening at Northwood University. It's it's America's free enterprise university, but it's also America's automotive university. So it's amazing from top to bottom what's going on.
Yeah, that is fantastic. There's no question about it. And as I said, if you're in that area, then you definitely want to make it out. I'd highly recommend though too that you if you have got the time, jump on a plane and go see this thing if you're in the auto industry, because you'll be blown away for sure. So thank you both for joining me on the show. Very much appreciated. I know that you guys watch CBT News, so thank you for that continued support. We appreciate that very much. So Colin, before we close out today, give me some final thoughts.
Well, we got to remember that Northwood University is a developmental program that is going to introduce many new talents to the workforce that we have here in the auto industry. And we have to remember as well that investing in the future for the auto industry is incredibly important. And it's really cool to see that many of your viewers out there provide scholarships and different resources and opportunities so that when our talents are leaving the school, they can go right into the workforce and give you, in your business, new talent and forward thinking. That's right. There's huge implementations that are coming in the future, and it is really exciting time to jump in and get your hand in the play here at the university. So it's fun to watch what's coming out of here, and we're excited to be presenting more in the future.
No, we appreciate it very much. And Colin Kubik, who is the Student and Public Relations Chair for Northwood University and International Auto Show, and Alex Mazon, who's the Student and General Chair for Northwood University International Auto Show. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me in the studio here. Very much appreciate it. Appreciate you making the trip down here to Atlanta. And so it's great to have you in the studio. Thanks so much.
For having us.
Best of luck on the show.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thanks for watching Inside Automotive with Jim Fitzpatrick.